Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan. This video marks the 10-week mark of after my surgery for having my patellar tendon repaired after a complete rupture. I've been trying to make a video every week. I missed last week because I was out of town unexpectedly. So my previous video was the 8-week mark. So we're just gonna go over, I'm gonna go over a couple things I'm doing and talk about where I'm at. My previous video 2 weeks ago, I think I did mostly what my range of motion routine was that I go through about 2 to 3 times a day. So that hasn't changed. I'm not going to go over that again. I'm just going to go over some of the more strength oriented exercises that I'm doing. And I usually do those right after my range of motion stuff. So usually I'm finishing my range of motion stuff on the bike. I go straight from the bike into some of these. I will usually start off with some walking exercises, do some stuff where like some high knees, do one where where you're trying to kick your butt, which I'm so far from that. It's just me lifting my heel off the ground. Then I have some band stuff where I've got a band basically around my ankles and I'm walking. I'll do a wide walk where I'm taking short steps, using the band to separate my legs. Then I'll shuffle side to side. I'll do like a down and back, shuffling one way, shuffling the other way. From there, I'll usually go and do a couple of banded strength exercises. I'll do like a seated leg curl with a band. And then I'll do another one where it's like where I'm like driving my knee forward. I'll show videos and hopefully that'll make sense. I don't have most of my stuff, I don't have a set amount of reps that I'm doing. I usually do it till I'm fatigued. On those particular exercises, a lot of times I'll do sets of 15, 3 sets of 15, usually a couple minutes in between rest. A lot of times I'm on the bike in between, do like 2 minutes on the bike, 1 minute backwards, 1 minute forwards. From there, I'll do 2 things. I'll do like a RDL, a Romanian deadlift, where it's like a one-legged thing. I'm standing with a dumbbell, and then after that, I'll do a similar exercise where I've got a couple small weight plates. I'll put those on the ground. I'll reach out and touch them either out in front of me or out to the side, and that's kind of a balance exercise. But that's a great one. I mean, by the time you've done the RDL and that, I mean, your hip especially and your leg and everything, you could feel it quite a bit. After I get done with that, I live on a hill, and so I will usually do a couple laps up the hill. I got a driveway that's about 400 yards long, maybe more. And I usually do about half. The top half's a little steeper, so I'll stick to that. And I'll do that anywhere from probably 2 to 4 times. Sometimes I'll do it, and if my leg's a little stiff, I'll jump on the bike a little longer, and then I'll go back out and do a couple more. And like I said, I don't have a set amount of some of these things. I'm just going off fatigue, and then you'll feel it. I mean, there's a point where it seems ridiculous because you're doing very little, but your leg really gets exhausted. I even had a couple days ago, my leg kind of started to cramp up in between everything. Kind of towards the end, I was on the bike, and just from using the bike, just from the minimal amount of muscle contraction you're using pedaling the bike, my leg was basically just wiped out. So that's mostly what I'm doing for strength. I'm a little bit limited because my doctor still has me really not doing strength stuff. I go back to the doctor in about 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that changes. I'm pretty sure it's going to change. At some point, he's going to have to let me do something. I have not been back to physical therapy since my previous one a couple weeks ago. I was supposed to go to physical therapy a couple days ago, but I was out of town. Could not get back in town in time, and so I don't think I have another one scheduled for a couple weeks. I only get, I think, like 12 physical therapy visits, so I'm kind of spreading them out until after I see the doctor, and he lets me do some more strength stuff. So I just don't want to burn through all those where I'm kind of just going in and wasting my time. So that's kind of where I stand on all that. I don't think I missed anything there. As far as an update on my progress, the way I've been typically measuring my range of motion is in a seated position. I usually use my brace just so I kind of know where I'm at. My brace maxes out at 110 degrees, and I can get right to about that. The brace doesn't sit perfectly straight on my leg, and so If I max out the one side, I'm probably closer to 105 degrees, and it's not quite as maxed out on the other side. I don't typically measure when I do wall slides, but I feel like I'm at a much larger range of motion on the wall slide, whereas I'm at a much lower range of motion if I'm walking and kicking my heel up behind me, or laying flat on my back and raising my knee and pulling my leg into me. But I am working on that, and everything's getting better range of motion wise. Normally, when I wake up in the morning, my knee is really quite unswollen, and it almost feels quite loose at that point. But once I'm up and walking around, it does start to swell up a little bit, and it gets tighter. So that sort of gives me the idea that some of the range of motion stuff and all that stuff, as much as it helps, a lot of it is just giving it time, getting the swelling out of there, because any of that swelling just sort of tightens it up. I tend to be really tight after I do any of the strength stuff for a while, and so sometimes I almost have to loosen it back up. And then even on the days when I go heavy on the strength, I'm pretty tight the rest of the day. So making progress. I got a few weeks before I can really ramp it up, but definitely getting there. If you're watching this video and you've got a ruptured patellar tendon that's been repaired or not even been repaired yet, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know where you're at. I'd love to hear where everybody else is at. There's some guys on YouTube who've got videos out there, and they've kind of show their progress. It seems like everybody's kind of in a different place progress-wise, and so yeah, it's hard. There's just not that many people that have it, and so I'd love to see where everybody's at. You know, because I don't know if I'm ahead of schedule or behind schedule. It's just hard to say. I'm going to keep making videos. I'm happy to do it. I'm going to try to improve the videos, make them better over time. Hopefully have more content. So keep watching, and I hope you'll stick around.